The humble donkey is charged with a rich, important biblical symbolism. Kings might choose a strong and combatant animal for ceremonies, a thoroughbred horse, an imposing elephant, or even a camel. But David has a royal she-mule. Solomon is anointed as king on a wild donkey. And in the book of Judges, we meet Achsah, daughter of Caleb, riding on a donkey, asking for springs of water. Often the Bible portrays donkeys as symbols of divine service, suffering, peace, and humility. But the picture is more complex than this. In the story of Balaam, God invites us to consider the question, to whom does authority belong? In Balaam's cruel dominance over his defiant donkey, God confronts our covetousness for his sovereignty and reveals a tension between wildness and dominion. We learn more by looking back. In Genesis 16, the pre-incarnate Christ comes to Hagar, who is with child, having fled from Sarah to the wilderness. He tells her to return to his promise, planted in the community of God's people. But here we learn what God already knows, what will come of Hagar, the bondwoman, and her son. As a sign to her and to his people, God tells Hagar what her son's life will be. She will call his name Ishmael. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and he will live to the east of all his brothers. Job later wrestles with this easterly place of unrest. When he asks, "Why are times not stored up by the Almighty? Why do those who know him not see his days? Behold, as wild donkeys in the wilderness, they go forth seeking food in their activity, as bread for their children in the desert." Here we learn that, like the raven and other creatures, wild donkeys represent those who are unsettled, anxious, in exile. We meet these wild donkeys again in 1 Samuel, when Saul, son of Kish the powerful, becomes king of Israel. And poor Saul, his father's donkeys are lost. The donkeys have now been missing 3 days. In these wandering donkeys, Saul meets his match. So who actually finds the lost donkeys in this story? Certainly not Saul. For this beautiful offspring of Kish, towering child of seeming power, snaring son of all the earth, cannot compare to Jesus Christ, the Lion of Judah. For just as the angel of the Lord came to Hagar, mother of Ishmael, a wild donkey of a man, so too, many generations later, an angel came to Mary, saying, "You too are with child, but you shall call his name Jesus." And what a Savior is our Jesus! He has no stately form or majesty that we should look upon him, nor appearance that we should be attracted to him. This is God's wonderful irony, that unlike Balaam, Jesus the true King has dominion over even the wildest of donkeys. And unlike Saul, our Messiah knows just where they are. He tells his disciples, and off they go.